Hello, kinderguppies and mamas and papas and all the grown-ups at home. I've had a couple questions about journals and journal writing. So rather than just answer one or two people, I'm going to make this video and share it with all of you. All right, now I'm going to switch my camera and we're going to look down at the journal as we do it together. All right, kinderguppies, here we go. Now, what we're always going to start with is our name. Nice and neat right up at the top of the page, guys. I'm going to use Aiden's name, just because I think his name is the first one alphabetically in the class. And when I look at that, and then I go to look at my pencil, I see that my pencil is kind of dull. So kids and parents, it's always better to use a sharper pencil. So after the date, now we're going to do the name, and this is something that you can be doing with your kids every day at home. Today is April the what? Kinder Monkeys, can you help Mr. McComb? That's right, guys, it's April the 29th. And then our year, 2020. Now you can see here, mums and dads, I'm using this paper. It's called interlined paper. It's got two big lines and then the dots. And the journals that I sent home are full of this interlined paper, and it really helps when we do this writing, because then the little letters all go to the middle line and the tall letters all go to the top line. What I'd like you guys, kids and parents, to keep an eye on as you do these journals is that you are paying attention to the quality of the printing, that you're going slow enough that the letters are formed correctly and that we're remembering to use lowercase letters. Using uppercase letters is quite rare, just at the beginning of sentences, in people's names. The rest of the writing should all be lowercase letters. And the lowercase letters should be formed nicely, slowly, and deliberately from the middle line down to the bottom line. So when the kids do their writing, you might see a lot of spelling mistakes or a lot of things that we as adults consider to be mistakes. But for 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, kids in kindergarten, it's totally acceptable, and even in some cases more than acceptable, because these are really young children. What we do want to focus on is the formation of the letters, because that's the foundational skill that they'll really need a handle on as they move into grade 1 and years beyond. Now, I've had questions about full sentences. Here's today's. Do you like to drink milk? Would you rather drink chocolate milk or white milk? Now, kinderguppies, if we answered this with, it says, do you like to drink milk? If you just did this, yes. A, that's messy. B, it's all capitals. It's not on the lines. And if Mr. McComb or Mommy or Daddy let you get away with just saying yes, and then Mommy and Daddy sent that journal to me and it just said yes, I'd be like, yes, what? But if you put yes, paying attention to the quality of your printing, yes, I, E. And phonetically, parents, E, that is spelled phonetically correct. I mean, conventionally, in terms of conventional spelling, how adults would spell, that's not correct. But for 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, this is wonderful, terrific, because they're hearing initial and middle and final sounds. They're differentiating between consonants and vowels, and they're even attempting to represent long vowels. So this is wonderful, a wonderful example. Even if you had a word like, and a child spelt it like this, they are hearing the two consonants, and they are hearing the vowel, and they're remembering the magic E, but they're right at this point struggling to differentiate between the I and the I and the But I would see this and I'd be like, wonderful effort. I can tell what you're doing. I can see the effort you put into it. That is terrific. And then an example like this would help Mr. McComb know what to focus on in the future. I'd say, oh, well, we're hearing the vowels, but we just need a little bit help differentiating between I, and I. So if you get invented spelling like this, please, parents, don't feel like you need to correct it or make a child go back and redo it. I'm happy to see it. The thing I would like parents to help with is making sure that the letters are conventionally sized, the words are conventionally spaced, and when you get to the end of one line, I really like to, and then you go to the next line. Don't go right underneath. I always tell the kids, skip a space. I really like to drink. So here, if a child did this, if they were trying to spell drink, they wouldn't have heard the and they're hearing the ing, but they're struggling between ing and ink. And if they use the C to represent the final k, that's all right. Mr. McComb can read it and understand what they're doing, and I can honor and appreciate their effort and their knowledge for it. Yes, I really like to drink ilka. And if the child is sounding it out, if you can hear them sounding it out as they go along, and if it comes out like this, that is okay. Yes, I really like to drink chocolate. I really like to drink milk. Chocolate. Totally acceptable. Chocolate. And if they're doing the same word again, encourage them to look up at what they did before. Instead of having to sound it out again, see what they've already done and try to get them to replicate the effort. This way they understand that words are spelt conventionally, not just in terms of the actual spelling, but in terms of if I spelt this word one way this time, it should be spelt the same way the next time. Chocolate milk is yum, yum, e, b, because, Easter. So this isn't a complete sentence in the way that adults would do it. Chocolate milk is yummy because Easter. A lot of times parents, children engage so much of their brain trying to print conventionally and trying to remember their phonics rules that sometimes the complete sentence escapes them. It's just so much for them to process. So if kids just said yes, they're not trying hard enough. But if the sentence they come out with is, to your ears, incomplete, chocolate milk is yummy because Easter, we can read it and understand enough to see the connection the child is making between the type of milk and the goodies they get at Easter. And maybe after they've done this, we can talk about their reasoning and we can get them to verbally provide more explanation. But if you try to get them to do too much work, then they're going to kind of push back and rebel against you. I hope this has helped to answer some of your questions. And Kinderguppies, I hope that this has helped remind you of some of the expectations in terms of skipping spaces and correct letter formation and remembering to try to sound and hear all the sounds of all the letters as we write. Good luck, Kinderguppies, and I'll talk to you later.